What a great day to be a hoe. It just smells like switch 'em up. That's what it smells like, switch 'em up.
Every day is a great day to be a hoe.
Only with the baddest.
I wish I had more hands so I could give those titties 4 thumbs down.
Did you know that a single handful of pistachios contains about 121 milligrams magnesium, 56 milligrams of tryptophan, and 6.6 milligrams of melatonin, all 3 of which have been known to improve your sleep and give you a better night's rest. So the next time your wife is complaining that she's tired and just didn't sleep well the night before, simply remind her that, like you've been trying to tell her for years, a mouthful of nuts just before bed is actually good for her health. Write that down.
Now installs alarm clock.
I am processing the most triggering breakup I've had in 9 years. It happened the day before flying abroad to meet my parents on a 9-day travel tour. I feel like I'm in the body of my 16-year-old self with all of the turmoil of my emotions trapped inside this pressure cooker of my body while I fake smile for cheesy tourist pics. This is the somatic memory of growing up as a highly sensitive child in an environment that had no room for my depths. My younger self had no tools to regulate out of this shutdown besides self-harm like purging and cutting. I thought I might explode by the 5th day of this trip when the goddess came to save me. She mirrored the tears pouring from my heart into my pelvic bowl, causing an expansion in my body that let me hold the paradox of tumultuous grief moving through while honoring the finite time I have left with my parents. In the chaos of my dad's hypervigilance, setting my already dysregulated nervous system on fire and grieving yet another relationship.
Do you know how much effort it took to come up with that absolute bullshit? It was like a 2-minute monologue that she wrote before she put it up that her counselor probably walked her through. She's so amazing and beautiful and brave. Suck it up. Then we have to get to the point where she's doing that psychopathic, shaking, yelling bullshit, her traumatic release experience. If I seen a person doing that, I'd be like asking my friends if we should call the cops. What a fucking nutcase. But to be completely honest, if you wanted to do that in your house and no one saw you, that'd be one thing. But what kind of mental fucking person is literally gonna post their camera up, do it, look at it, edit it, and then put it on the internet for all to see? It's like such an attention grab, it's fucking disgusting. Imagine if you get married to this thing, there's no chance it's gonna work out. She's fucking nuts.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some.
I just paid 3 bills just now with my own debit card. Like the independent black woman I don't want to be.
I don't want to be INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? That means independent. I don't want to be independent anymore.
You know, I don't want to be a strong, independent woman. I think we have enough strong, independent women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit more. This shit is draining.
You know, have dinner ready for your husbands when they got home from work. That is all I want to do.
But no, you thought everyone wanted to be independent.
I don't. I don't want to be independent.
A break from dating, and I didn't need a man. I changed my mind. I'll take whoever. Just like get here ASAP.
It's so fucking exhausting and draining to act like everything is okay.
Now I'm like, I don't want to be this strong, independent woman. I don't.
I can't believe I used to truly feel so empowered by being like, I would never let a man support me fully. It took me 2 years in corporate America to be like, yourself. I would love if somebody came in here.
I don't want to be independent anymore.
Good luck with that. You're telling me that you're willing to sit there and train to get a better body, to maybe train for a job, etc., but you won't train for your man? And then that's when it really hits home. A girl, they'll go to college, they'll wear a suit and dress, conservatively for a job, right? They'll go to that job, they'll serve the boss, they'll do what they say, etc., then come home to you and you'll say, can you make me a sandwich? They'll say, do it yourself. And I think that's ludicrous because they will give their best years to a company that doesn't give a fuck about them over a man who will provide, protect for her, right, and give her children.
This is exactly what the feminist movement taught them. They listen and obey to every other man, even if it's a customer at their job or anything at all, landlord, boss, anything, but disrespect their husband on every single request because they ain't gonna be oppressed. They're fucking clowns, easily manipulated, as you can clearly see.
Wipe it down, wipe.
Do you not like it?
If we go down to Mexico and see what the cartel can do, they make this look like child's play.
What is the worst thing you've done to an ex?
If y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just an athlete. They're really dumb.
NBA Twitter wildly speculates that PJ Washington could be paying $2.4 million annually in child support.
To an ex, moved on.
With a straight face.
Bro, y'all gotta chill out, bitch. Y'all play too much.
Sometimes because he doesn't want to because he has to keep his shot good for the next day, or I'm super sore and he has a big so it's like.
Yo! This is your boyfriend you're saying this in front of. Yo! My heart! My heart! That hurts. My shit crumbled, bro! Look at his face!
120? What do you do anything? Nah, but I need somebody to wash my truck. You think you can do it for 120?
Wash your truck?
Yeah, in and out.
I'm not washing nothing.
Really? Yeah. Oh.
If you don't need a spit shine in and out, she gonna decline on that one.
People think men leading their wives is kind of like asserting their dominance, like being dominant. And people will be like, men get to be the leaders and do this. I truly believe that men have the short end of the stick when it comes to that. Men are supposed to love their wives the way that Christ loved the church. Do you know what Christ did for the church? He died. Like, you literally have to be willing to die for your wife and your family. Mm-hmm. All of your boyish, selfish desires, needs, wants, all of it doesn't matter. Like, it's out the window, and your family comes first. Yeah, it's Christ-like sacrifice. It's a lot. It's heavy.
You let him slip it? By accident?
I make too much money to let that shit happen.
How much money do you... How much money you make?
$30,000 a year.
How much?
$30,000 a year.
Huh? How much money you make at the end of the year? I make $14,000 a month.
I'm not impressed.
I didn't ask you for your price, but I told you how much I make a month.
Good for you.
How do you make that in a month? I sell solar. Solar? Solar, yeah. So you make 14 grand a month? Yes.
That's what they say about the women too. That if you're broke, they won't take you, but a man will take a broke woman. And this guy making more than she makes all year in about 2 months, and she's not impressed, but she is impressed still with her little measly ass 30 grand a year. That's damn near a poverty level line. Where do they come up with this shit? Who coaches them?
Strap in, guys, this is absolute chaos. Got a little bit cocky after I sold that coffee table, and I thought, why not make another one of my dog's bowls? So I went B&Q and treated myself to a couple new saws. And guys, if you ever want to do this, learn from me. You have to give in to the electric tools. I was so adamant I did not want to get a jigsaw. But with the amount of money I spent on tools, I should have just got the fucking jigsaw, but I just feel that's cheating. I got desperate. I even started screwing holes in to try and make it easier, sanding it down. Got the nail file out to see if that would do it. Nothing was giving me that perfect curved shape, so I gave up. Now this is several days later. I was 4 hours deep, so I had to quit and call it a day. But I came back to it. I didn't want to give up. I just had to accept me circles weren't going to look great, but you also weren't going to see them. I'm going to hang up my saws and call it a day with DIY. I've learnt loads and my toolbox has grown, but I just can't be fucked anymore. Marcus actually loves my DIY dog stand and prefers it over the shop brought one we have. But anyway, this is how it looks, and this is how it looks compared to the shop brought one.
Gotta say, it was painful to watch.
All right, thanks so much for making it to the end. And now it's time for Larry's final thought. All right, let's see what I got for y'all this time. All right, guys. You know, I encourage you to have fun while you're on this journey. And, well, you're either going to make it hell or you're going to make it fun anyways. So, it is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And once you get started and you start working on yourself and working towards your future and success, it gets easier and easier. And the easier it gets, the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you want to do it, and it just starts to snowball. The more that you do it and the more that you succeed, the more confidence you'll have in yourself, and the more that you'll feel secure when the storm comes because you've already seen yourself through the rain so many times. So you'll also be rewarded along the way, and you'll understand why you're doing this. So you got to get the ball rolling and start. But like I said, once you start, it'll get easier and easier. The easier it gets, the more you want to do it. The more you do it, the more success you'll have, the more confident you'll feel. And all these things will just fall right into place. So get out there and make that happen. You know, you're either going to do it now or do it later. Doesn't matter. You're going to die of discipline or die of failure, die of regret. So please like, share, and subscribe as always. And we going to see you on the next one.